Everyone is talking about AI today. Everyone is talking about AI agents. Everyone is talking about how AI will replace employees. But in my opinion, that's the wrong question. The real question is, how do you know where AI should be implemented, how much money it can actually save, and how do you measure it? Because if you can't measure the work being done inside your law firm, you can't measure the value of AI. And that's exactly what I want to show you today. On the Rainmaker Lawyer channel, I share business and management tips for law firms. Over the years, I've come to the conclusion that every law firm is made up of several core efforts: marketing, sales, case management, accounting and collection, business development, and firm management. These are engines that drive the growth of any law firm. Marketing and sales generate new clients. Case management delivers results. Collections create cash flow. And business development ensures the firm continues growing in the future. When I started the law firm, I was completely on my own. I had a laptop, I had $0 in my pocket, and I had a strong desire to succeed. I was the marketer, I was the salesperson, I was the attorney handling the cases, I was responsible for collections, and I was responsible for business development. In other words, I personally performed every effort required to make the law firm successful. But as a law firm grows and starts hiring people and delegating responsibilities, something interesting happens. The capabilities that once existed in the owner begin to disappear across the organization. Suddenly, it's difficult to understand where time is being invested. It's difficult to understand where profitability is being created. And it's difficult to identify which activities are truly moving the business forward. That's exactly why I developed a smart management system for the law firm. The system divides the entire firm into core efforts. Then it breaks each effort down into sub-efforts. The goal is to ensure that every employee remains focused on the activities that truly matter. For example, when we close a new client engagement, the case enters the system with its expected value. The case is assigned a time budget, and throughout the life cycle of the case, employees can see exactly which sub-efforts they need to complete. They know how much revenue is in the case, how much time can be invested, which efforts need to be advanced. In addition, each sub-effort receives a predefined percentage of the overall work effort. This gives employees a framework for how to allocate their time efficiently. Of course, a highly skilled employee may complete the same work faster and create greater profitability for the firm. Personally, I love CrossFit, and this system reminds me a lot of functional fitness training. You have multiple tasks. You have a limited amount of time, and you need to manage your effort correctly if you want the best possible result. The same thing happens when managing a legal case. Resources are limited, time is limited, and the goal is to achieve the best outcome as efficiently as possible. Now, let's talk about AI. Because we've already divided the firm into efforts and sub-efforts, we can now identify exactly where AI and AI agents should be implemented. More importantly, we can calculate their economic impact. Let me give you a real example. In our firm, we have a department that handles German and Austrian citizenship applications. That department generates approximately 1 million shekels in monthly revenue. We allocate 35% of that revenue to case handling activities. That's about 350,000 shekels. One of the sub-efforts within case handling is completing forms and applications. We estimate that this sub-effort represents approximately 20% of the total case handling effort. The remaining sub-efforts include obtaining documents, certified translations and notarizations, scanning and uploading documents, building the case file, submitting applications to the Austrian and German authorities, monitoring application status, communicating with clients, of course, which is very important, and ultimately collecting passports and final approvals. 20% of 350,000 shekels equals 70,000 shekels. Labor costs in our firm average approximately 40%. That's our goal. That means we currently spend around 28,000 shekels per month performing this specific sub-effort. And it's important to understand that is not the salary of one employee. It represents the combined labor costs of all employees involved in performing this particular sub-effort. We are now implementing an AI agent that performs this exact task. Such an agent may cost between 500 to 1,000 shekels a month, not 28,000 shekels. Potentially, therefore, we're talking about a solution that costs a fraction of what we're currently spending to perform the same effort. When you start looking at AI through this lens, the potential becomes extraordinary. But this is where most law firms could make a mistake. If AI saves an employee time, that doesn't automatically mean you as a firm are saving money. To generate real savings or increase profitability, you must redefine performance expectations. Let's go back to the CrossFit example. If it takes me 30 minutes to complete a workout and 5 of those minutes are spent on one particular exercise, and suddenly I have a tool that performs that exercise for me, my goal shouldn't be to keep finishing the workout in 30 minutes, of course. My goal should be to finish it in 25 minutes. Otherwise, I'll simply spend more time on other remaining exercises. The exact same principle applies in law firms. If AI reduces effort required of one subtask, then new performances, targets, new standards, and new output expectations must be established. Otherwise, no real improvement has occurred. And that's why I believe a smart management system is a foundation for a successful AI implementation. Only when a law firm is broken down into measurable efforts and sub-efforts can you truly understand where AI creates value, where AI saves time, where AI reduces costs, and where AI simply doesn't belong. In the next videos, I'll talk about AI in legal marketing, how to get ChatGPT and other AI systems to recommend your law firm. Our firm has already closed deals worth millions of shekels where the original lead source was an AI recommendation. And because our management system tracks lead sources, we can measure those results precisely. After that, we'll discuss AI in sales, when it's appropriate to use AI agents, when it can help, and when it can actually hurt your conversion rate. And of course, we'll explore how to use AI to create real profitability inside a law firm. AI will not replace law firms, but law firms that know how to measure efforts, manage it efficiently, and deploy AI in the right places will replace those that don't. If you want to build that kind of law firm, stay with me here on the Rainmaker Lawyer channel. We're just getting started.